Most people never think about it, but right now your body is sending out a signal, a chemical signature. Other people are reading it without knowing, and you're reading theirs. It's always been there, quiet, unquestioned, invisible, but this signal is older than you think, older than language, older than the first word ever spoken. It's deciding who you're drawn to, who makes you uncomfortable, who feels like home, and you have no idea it's happening. Your body is having conversations your mind never hears, and those conversations are writing your life. If you want to uncover more hidden truths about yourself, the kind most people never think about, subscribe to The Shadow's Mind. Because what you're about to hear next will change how you see every interaction you've ever had. Before there were words, there was scent. Before humans could ask questions or tell lies or make promises, the body was already speaking. Not in sounds, in molecules, in chemistry that floated through the air and told the truth about who you were, where you came from, whether you were safe, whether your children would survive. Two people would meet for the first time. No language between them, no shared understanding, just breath, just proximity. And in less than a second, their bodies would decide, this one or not this one, safe or dangerous, kin or stranger, future or nothing. They didn't know why. They only felt it, a pull, a resistance, an answer they couldn't explain. That system never left, it's still running. Right now, in you just stop noticing. Your scent isn't random, it's not about what you ate for lunch or whether you showered this morning. It's about something deeper, something you were born with and will carry until you die. A set of genes called the Major Histocompatibility Complex, MHC for short. These genes build your immune system. They teach your body how to recognize disease, how to fight infection, how to tell the difference between you and not you, and they create a scent, a chemical fingerprint that belongs only to you. No one else on Earth smells exactly like you do. Not your siblings, not your parents, not your identical twin if you have one, because even twins have slight variations in their MHC, and those variations translate into scent. Molecules that rise from your skin, from your breath, from every inch of you. You can't smell it on yourself, but other people can, not consciously. Not the way you smell coffee or flowers or rain. This happens below awareness. In the ancient part of the brain that doesn't bother with thoughts, it just reads the chemistry and makes a call. Attractive or not, comfortable or not, trustworthy or not. And here's what makes it strange. You're most attracted to people whose MHC is different from yours. Opposite, complementary. Not because opposites attract in some poetic sense, but because your immune system is doing math. Calculating whether their genes plus your genes equals stronger children. Two strangers pass each other on the street. They don't speak, they barely make eye contact. But in the fraction of a second they share the same air, their brains are working. Pulling in scent molecules, decoding immune signatures, running an equation neither of them knows exists. If these two people had children, would those children survive? Would they fight off diseases better than either parent alone? The answer comes back fast. A feeling, not a thought, just a subtle shift in attention, a flicker of interest, or nothing at all. You think you choose who you're attracted to. You think it's about looks or personality or the way someone laughs. And maybe some of it is, but underneath all of that, there's chemistry, literal chemistry. Your immune system scanning theirs, looking for difference, looking for strength. There was a study once. Men were asked to smell shirts worn by women they'd never met, just cotton shirts. No perfume, no deodorant, nothing but the natural scent left behind after a day of wear. The men rated the shirts, which ones they found pleasant, which ones they found attractive, and the researchers checked the MHC profiles. The results were clear. The men preferred the scent of women whose immune genes were most different from their own. They didn't know why, they couldn't explain it, they just knew. Some smells felt right and some didn't. That's not romance, that's your body choosing for you. You've probably noticed this without realizing what it was. The scent of your family members feels different. Not bad necessarily, just not appealing. Not in that way. Your brother could be clean, well-groomed, objectively attractive to other people. But to you, there's something about his scent that doesn't register as interesting. And that's by design, because your brother's MHC is similar to yours. You share genes, you share immune signatures, and your body knows that, reads the chemistry and decides, this is family, not a mate. There's a name for this, the Westermarck effect. Children who grow up together in close proximity during early childhood almost never feel sexual attraction toward each other later in life. Even if they're not biologically related, even if they meet as adults and don't remember growing up together, the brain has already filed them under family, the scent has already been catalogued, and the body says no. This is how humans avoided inbreeding long before anyone understood genetics. Before there were laws or cultural taboos, the body just knew. Same immune signature equals don't reproduce. It's not a conscious thought, it's a wall, invisible but absolute. You felt it your whole life and never questioned it. You don't find your siblings attractive. You don't find your childhood friends attractive in that specific way, and you probably assumed it was about familiarity or social conditioning. But it's deeper than that. It's scent, it's chemistry, it's your immune system protecting the future. This is just one piece of the puzzle. If you're starting to see yourself differently, hit that subscribe button. The Shadow's Mind explores the hidden forces shaping who you are one story at a time. Here's where it gets complicated. A woman meets a man. She's on birth control, hormonal contraception, the pill. It changes her hormone levels, mimics pregnancy. And when you're pregnant, your body has different priorities. It doesn't need to find a mate. It needs safety, familiarity, support. So the hormones shift your preferences. You start to prefer the scent of people with MHC similar to yours, like family, comforting, safe. She meets him while her hormones are altered. She falls in love. His scent feels right. Warm, reassuring. They get married. A few years later, she wants to have children. She stops taking the pill. Her natural hormone cycle returns, and suddenly, something feels wrong. His scent doesn't smell right anymore. It's not that he changed. He didn't. It's that her chemistry changed. The signal her brain is reading now is different from the signal it read before. And her body is saying this isn't the right match. This is too similar. This won't produce strong children. She doesn't understand why. She just knows that the attraction has faded, that something fundamental has shifted. And she feels guilty, confused, like she's broken or shallow or cruel, but she's not. She's just listening to a system that was overridden, and now it's back online, telling her what it would have told her years ago if the hormones hadn't interfered. This happens more often than people talk about. The modern world broke the signal, and no one warns you. Your sense of smell isn't constant, it changes. Women's ability to detect certain scents shifts throughout their menstrual cycle. During ovulation, when fertility is highest, women become twice as sensitive to the scent of testosterone, specifically androstenone, a molecule that men with high testosterone levels produce more of. It has a strong, musky odor. Some people find it pleasant, some find it overwhelming. But women near ovulation find it more attractive than women at other phases of their cycle. Their brains are tuned to notice it, to prioritize it, to move toward it. One week, a man's scent might seem unremarkable. The next week, it might feel magnetic. He didn't change, your hormones did, and your hormones are running a program. Find the strongest genes, find the healthiest partner. Do it now while you can still conceive. This isn't conscious. You don't think I'm ovulating, so I need to find someone with high testosterone. You just feel drawn, interested, alive. And then the window closes. The hormones shift again, and the same scent that felt irresistible a few days ago now feels neutral, or even unpleasant. Meanwhile, something else is happening. Infants recognize their mothers by scent before they recognize them by face. A newborn placed on the mother's chest will crawl toward the breast using scent alone. If you put a cloth that smells like the mother on one side and a cloth that smells like a stranger on the other, the baby will turn toward the mother's scent every time. Before sight, before sound, before memory, there's scent, there's recognition, there's home, but here's the part most people miss. You think you don't smell it. You think you're above this. That your conscious mind is making the decisions. That attraction is about connection and values and compatibility. And maybe it is, on some level, but there's another level running underneath. Researchers did another study. They gave men shirts to smell, shirts worn by women during different phases of their cycle. The men couldn't tell you when the women were ovulating. They didn't have that information. But when asked to rate the scents for attractiveness, they consistently preferred the shirts worn during ovulation. They didn't know why. They couldn't explain it. They just knew some shirts smelled better than others. Your nose isn't consciously detecting these signals, but your brain is, deep in the limbic system. In the parts that don't speak in words, they're reading the chemistry, decoding the information, and then feeding it up to your conscious mind as a feeling, a preference, a choice that you think is yours. But was it ever? Or were you just listening to a conversation your body was having without you? For most of human history, scent was information. It told you who was kin and who was other, who would produce healthy offspring and who wouldn't, who was sick and who was well. It wasn't something to cover up or apologize for, it was identity. It was the first language, the one that didn't need translation. You didn't choose it, you couldn't fake it. It was the truth of your biology written in molecules, and everyone around you could read it whether they wanted to or not. The modern world tried to erase that. Perfumes, deodorants, soaps that promise to make you smell like anything other than yourself. As if your natural scent is a problem to solve, a flaw to hide, but it's not. It's a signature, a map of where you came from, a message about who you are at the genetic level. And even now, even with all the products designed to mask it, your body is still broadcasting, still sending out the signal, and other bodies are still receiving it, still making decisions based on information you don't control. This isn't a defect, it's a system, one that's older than civilization, and it's still running. If this made you question how much control you really have, you're not alone. Subscribe to The Shadow's Mind for more stories that reveal the invisible forces behind your choices. And check out our next video, it's about another signal your body sends without permission. So the next time you feel drawn to someone and you can't explain why, consider this. Maybe it's not about them at all. Maybe it's about the calculation your immune system just ran, the one that said their genes and your genes might build something stronger than either of you alone. Or the next time you feel uncomfortable around someone for no clear reason, ask yourself, is this intuition or is this chemistry? Is this your choice or is this your body reading a signal and making the call before your mind even gets involved? How much of what you feel is actually yours and how much is just biology, running its program, doing what it's been doing for hundreds of thousands of years? Maybe you'll never know for sure, but now, at least, you'll wonder, and wondering is where the truth starts.